Okay, then we're going to carry on with our sort of examination then of sports psychology. In this section, we're really going to pay some attention to the topic of aggression, okay? And obviously, particularly aggression in sport. So you might be thinking, what are today's learning outcomes? By the end of this session, you should be able to do the following. I'd like you to be able to critically evaluate the causes of aggression and its resultant effects on sports performance. I'd also like you to be able to make links between personality and aggression. Before we go any further with this section, I've got a task for you. Now, you'll be happy to find out, I'm sure, that this task involves you watching some videos, okay? No writing, as yet. All I want you to do is watch the clips. There's 3 clips there. And I'd like you to see if you can note any difference in the type of aggression that is shown. We've got 3 nice clips, I think. We've got a football one, Zinedine Zidane. The infamous sort of, well, I think you know what's going to come out of this one. What he's probably most famous for these days, quite sadly. A fantastic footballer, but to many people he's remembered for a silly little incident, okay? We've also got Andy Roddick from tennis. And we've also got Kieran Reid, okay? A clip there from rugby. Please take some time to have a look at them and think about, have a discussion if you can with your colleagues, what type of aggression is shown. So, I wonder what you saw then, I wonder what came out of your little discussions. There were 3 examples there of athletes taking part in their chosen activities. You might say, acting in an aggressive manner. Now, I won't say too much at this point, but I do wonder if your opinions will change as we investigate aggression in more depth. What I'm now going to do is offer some definitions of aggression. Well, the first definition I'd like to offer, okay, this comes from Barron and Richardson in 1994. And they said that any form of behaviour directed toward the goal of harming or injuring another living being who is motivated to avoid such treatment, okay? Motivated to avoid such treatment is interesting for me, okay? Someone who's not happy about it happening to them, okay? They don't want to have that aggression put on top of them, okay? That's an interesting one, maybe something we could debate on. Also, we've got another one there from Weinberg and Gould, 2 very well-known sports psychologists. And they said for their definition of aggression that it was any behaviour directed toward intentionally harming or injuring another living being. Living being is an interesting one, and we'll pick up on this as we go through, okay? What is then the criteria for aggression? Now, Gill in 2000 came up with a list, okay? It's not comprehensive by any means, okay? And it's not the be-all and end-all. I encourage you, as I always do, to go away and look for some alternatives, okay? And be critical in anything that's presented, okay? You may find some different criteria for aggression by other sports psychologists or indeed clinical psychologists. If that's the case, great. Have a look at that, compare and contrast. But for now, let's look what Gill said. And Gill said that aggression was a behaviour, either physical or verbal. It's very important to remember this, okay? It involves some form of harm or injury. And this harm or injury can be both physical and also psychological. It's directed towards a living organism. So in the case of Andy Roddick there, you could say not a tennis racket. However, Gill does kind of contradict on this one a little bit later on, okay? We'll come to that in time. Aggression involves intent. Accidental harm, even serious harm, is not aggressive when the harm is not intended. This is an interesting point. There must be a form of intent there. There must be a focus to do harm. The person must want to hurt someone or cause them physical injury or pain. Basically, we can say that aggression is outside the rules of the game in sport. So, bearing in mind that, what do you think about Kieran Reid's tackle now? You might have thought originally, that's very aggressive. It certainly looks aggressive. Listen to the commentary. It was described as a great tackle, nice technique. Certainly within the rules of the game there, in that instance, okay? As I said, these quotes come from Gill in 2000.